Hey, we're going to. So, with number 1, you should have had D. With number 2, you should also have D. And in number 3, payments is the only thing that decrease things. So far, so simple. Anybody got any questions? All right, number 4. Before sending in your payment to the credit card company, you go to a bicycle store. Approximately how much can you spend before going over your credit card limit? Well, that tells us on our statement. If I go back and look at my statement, it says that I have a balance of what? $1784.53. My credit limit is what? $2,000. So my available credit, which means money that I can spend, that I have left, is how much? $215.47, right? So, to answer number 4, how much can you spend before going over your credit limit on the card? It's roughly how much money? 200 bucks. Y'all see how I got that? If I go over 200, I'm pushing the limits there, right? All right, number 5. It says in April of 2012, it is April 2012, and you suddenly remember that your credit card bill is due the next day. You have the money in your checking account to pay the bill in full. The mailing address of the credit card company is a few thousand miles away, so you assume that it will take a few days for your check to arrive. What should you do? Guys, we live in the age of technology, right? Most credit card companies you can access through what? The internet, right? So I should probably access my credit card account online to see if they have online options available that will get the payment to them by the 20th. Does everybody understand that? And guys, why would I want to make that payment paid in full? If I pay that off in full, what am I saving myself? Interest. I'm not having to pay them interest. Okay? Everybody good through the first 5 there? Does that make sense? Please tell me if it don't. We good? All right. Number 6. It says, which of the following statements is false? It says, if you pay the minimum payment of $53, you will not have to pay interest for the balance you still owe. If you pay only the minimum payment and do not make any additional charges on your credit card, it will take you 10 years to pay off your card. That could be true. If you pay $9 more than your minimum payment of $53, you will reduce the time you pay off your credit card debt in 3 years. That is also true. Because anytime you're adding to the principal of something and you're getting rid of your principal loan, then you are knocking off time on the term, okay? And then it says if you want to pay off your credit card debt faster, you should pay more than the minimum payment. So B, C, and D is true. If you look at letter A, it says if you pay the minimum payment of $53, you will not have to pay interest for the balance you still owe. Guys, if I only make the minimum payment on something, then I am absolutely going to pay every penny of interest that there is. Does that make sense? I want to pay this off as quickly as I can possibly pay it off, because the faster I pay off any debt, the less interest I have to pay. Does everybody understand that? And that's the name of the game. You do not want to pay interest. But if you are only making the minimum payments, then you will pay as much interest as allowable with the amount of money you can borrow from a credit card company. Is everybody with me there? Number 7 says the statement says that you triggered the penalty APR. So that it is now increased to 28.99%. What action triggered this? So if we look up here, let's read what it is saying. It says notice of change to your interest rates. Y'all see where I'm at right there? It says you have triggered the penalty APR of 28.99%. This change will impact your account as follows. It says transactions made on or after April 9th, the penalty APR will apply to these transactions. We may keep the APR at this level indefinitely. transactions made before 4/9. Current rates will continue to apply to these transactions. However, if you become more than 60 days late on your account, emphasis on the word late, the penalty APR will apply to those transactions as well. So basically, what triggered my interest rate going up? What did I miss? Or what was I late with? I was late with a payment. All right? So, it says you failed to pay the minimum payment by the due date. What's also going to happen to my credit score when that happens? It's not going to help it, is it? I'm sorry, I got that zoomed in. It's not going to help it, is it? It's definitely going to hurt it. So it says at the penalty APR rate of 29%, basically, and a balance of about $1,800, approximately how much interest would you pay in 1 month? You guys know how you figure that out? It's very simple. Have any of you got your phones on you? Get your phones out. Take $1,800, so in the calculator, put $1,800 and multiply that by 0.28.
504.
That's wrong. I'm sorry. Take 1,800 and multiply it by 0.28.
504.
But it should be 50.4.
Oh.
50.4. So the average is about $50. Now, if you notice, that isn't on our chart. So we're going to go with letter B, as in 40. Okay? About $40 more a month that I'm going to have to pay simply in interest because I did not make one payment. It's not worth that, is it? It is not worth that. Make sure you make your payments on time. Okay? Number 9 says, you were charged interest of $6.31 for purchases. It says see section 8. See if I can zoom in on it here. It says you were charged $6.31 for purchases. Now, if we look at our fees, let's see if we can find it. Does anybody see the $6 right here? On purchases, $6.31. What does that mean? What that means, guys, is I have to pay $6.31 because of what I didn't do up here. If you notice, my balance originally was $535, right? Y'all with me there? And I only paid $450 of that off. So that means I've roughly got, what, $85 left to pay on that previous balance? Well, they charged me interest on that balance, okay? So that was interest charges on purchases, which was $631. So if you look at your answers, it says you had a balance of $535 from the previous month and only paid $450. So you didn't pay off your balance in full. That is why you have to pay interest. Now, guys, if I had paid off that extra money and paid that $535 completely off, would I be paying interest on anything with that? No. Y'all see how this works? And then number 10, in reviewing your account statement, you see a balance transfer fee. Based on the information you see in the statement, what would that fee be if you transferred $3,000 from your credit card? So let's see if we can find it. Balance transfer fee. Y'all see right here where it says balance transfer fee was $23.55. Now that was $23.55 on $1,800. Does that make sense? So if I'm going to do it on $3,000, well, it's asking me how much of that would be, and it would say that that would be around 90. Okay? That would be around 90. Because let me show you how we came up with that number. I've got to find it on here to show you.
Looks like you need some glasses.
Yeah, it's just so small.
Yeah.
So actually I told you long. If you look back up here at the top, if I can get it to it, you see where it says cash advances, and it says $300. Y'all see that? And then down here, it says balance transfer fee. So it's made me pay $23 on 300. Y'all make sense? So that's basically $20 for every 300 spent. So that's how it's 90 on 3,000. Y'all see how that works? So that's basically, now guys, this right here, this statement that I'm showing you is one of the most difficult statements that you can look at. Most of them break all this down, but at the end of the day, what are most people looking at? When I open this in the mail, what's my first, where am I going to try, what number am I going to try to find first? My new balance. And then the second one's probably going to be my minimum monthly payment due. But again, if I can pay all that off at one time, it is in my best interest because I will not have to pay any more interest. Is everybody with me there? Okay, so there you literally have those 10 questions. I'm going to zoom out so we can get one last effect of them here. So you got 1 through 5 here, and then 6 through 10 here. All right, did everybody get those down? Does all that make sense?